What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Fun Enough. We're reviewing every single AFC East team schedule. Let's get right into it. Hope you guys enjoy. Those are the 12 hardest schedule, 0.512 win percentage. Now let's get into their actual schedule. Gonna be completely honest with you. The Bills do not have a super easy schedule. I'm gonna do the preseason first, though. Hey, this will load. Done in a second. Either way. Okay. Yeah, I guess it's out if you really care for preseason. Either way, though, they open the game on opening the kickoff against the Rams, 8:20 on NBC. That's a pretty tough game. If they lose it, no shame in that. But then they home against Titans, they gotta win that because if they start off 0-1, probably gonna go to 1-0. And even that, they want to win again. So 2-0, 1-1. That's probably what they want to start out. They're playing. It's on ESPN 7:15. Doubleheader, week 2 special doubleheader. Week 3, though, they're in Miami. That's not going to be an easy game either. That's going to definitely, they're going to have to play well in that game. Do I think they'll win it? Yeah, probably, but 1 o'clock on CBS, too. Week 4, they're on CBS again at Baltimore. This game's going to be tough again. Think they can win it, but definitely a hard game. Then, because good reasons up a little, they're at home versus Pittsburgh. You know what happened last year, though. They lost 23-16 in Week 1. Who the heck knows? 1 o'clock on CBS, though. Week 6 is the most anticipated matchup. It's literally the only game on, at that time. 4:25 on CBS, NFL on CBS doubleheader game 2. They're at Kansas City. Huge game for them. They lose that, they're not going to be happy. They really want to win that. That's a game, anybody, I'll be honest with you, they need to win that game. This is the high anticipated matchup. So, over the first 6 weeks, it's not very easy. Pittsburgh, they definitely should win. Miami, they probably should win, but the other games aren't going to be that great. I mean, they probably should beat Tennessee, but there's no teams in there that are, other than maybe the Steelers, that are like cupcakes. Then after week 7, you're home against Green Bay on Sunday Night Football. Not a bad game at all for them. I think this game they definitely could be a loss. I like the matchup though. They are home. They're all coming off a bye week. It's an early bye week too. You got to remember that. But schedule is definitely not too daunting. It's still a big game. It's not like they're playing a terrible team. But the Packers are a really good team. Bills are a really good team. It's a great matchup, really. Then you got week 9, a really easy game against the Jets. No offense to the Jets. I don't think they're that good. I think they'll win maybe 5-6 games this year. I don't think they will be good. They will be good in a couple years. 1 o'clock on CBS for that game. Then they're on Fox at 1 o'clock on week 10 versus home Minnesota. That's going to be a good game. I think they're going to win that game pretty much handily, but I still think it will be a good game. Then 1 o'clock on CBS, you have the Browns. That's not going to be an easy game if Deshaun Watson's starting. If he's not, should be a win. Week 12 on Thanksgiving, you got the Lions on CBS. If they lose this game, that would be pretty terrible, but who the heck knows. You got New England Week 13 on Prime Video. I don't know why the NFL likes doing this. They have the team who plays on Thanksgiving. The next week they play on Thursday Night Football on Prime Video. It kind of makes sense. So they don't want to have a huge long bye week. But they have 2 weeks in a row they're playing on Thursday. Prime Video, Thursday Night Football at New England. That game's really anticipated. Should be a good one. Then you got the Jets, 1 o'clock on CBS Week 14. They should win that. Then you got the Dolphins, Miami. This game could be at 1 o'clock, 4:30, and 8:15 at any time on Saturday. Saturday, December 17th on NFL Network. Or it could be 1 o'clock on CBS on Sunday, or 4:25 on CBS on Sunday, or Sunday Night Football. We really don't know for that game. That's why, but the reason it's here is because it's either going to be one of the 3 triple header games for CBS, for NFL Network, or it won't be on a NFL Network special. Then you got the Bears, and you got to go to Chicago week 16. If they don't win this game, there's a problem. They really do need to win this game, definitely. The big game, though, is at Cincinnati on Monday Night Football. Is it the biggest game? Probably not the season, but they're in Cincinnati. They're going to want to win that. It's a really good matchup, for the last Monday night game of the year. Then you got New England. We don't know what time it's going to be because it's week 18. Guarantee that match is going to be important for at least one of the teams. Then for the preseason, we really care. They're playing the Colts at 4 o'clock. Local listings, I guess, on Saturday, August 13th. The 20th, the next week, they're home against Denver. Then they're at Carolina on Friday at 7 o'clock to close out the preseason. Yeah, if you want to go to a preseason game, go to Buffalo for $9. It's really cheap. Either way, guys, let's get to the next one. Theirs is not an easy schedule. I mean, like, to start it off, if they start out like, let's see, if they start out like 5-1, I'd be shocked. I'm saying 4-2. At the worst, they're 3-3. At the best, they're 5-1. They're not winning all these games. Rams, good chance they'll lose that one. I think it's gonna be a good game, but still. Titans, they should win. Miami, they should win. Baltimore, they should win. Pittsburgh, they definitely should win. And then at Kansas City, which is basically a toss-up. So 2 games, they have, it's basically 50-50. A couple other games that it's pretty much 50-50, and then 2 games they should win. Here's why. They're home, and the fact that Tennessee, I've never really seen them be competitive against any, like, really good team on the road. Like, I'm talking Super Bowl contender, not like some fringe playoff team. I'm talking a real contender. So, yeah. But they don't have an easy start to the season by any means. They start out 5-1. I'm saying they're going to win the Super Bowl. It eases up a little. They still got Green Bay. This stretch, week 6 through 8, if they win those games, that's really good for them. But, like I said, they don't have an easy schedule. I don't think it's a bad. I just think if they scheduled it a little more evenly, like you don't want to play Detroit, Chicago. You don't want to play Chicago late in the season. I get why they did that. Like, I guess it's a little bit of a break, but still on Christmas Eve, I still don't like that they have to play that game then. I'd want to play earlier in the season in Chicago, just because the fact that it's not like easy. It's not a hard matchup by any means, but it's also like meh. Lions are crappy, going to be crappy this year. I'm not going to be bad. They're just going to be like, meh. Either way, though, sorry I'm talking a lot. That's my review of the Bills schedule. It's a tough schedule. I'll put it that way. For the Dolphins, they have the 12th easiest schedule, .48, a 4.80 win percentage. Let's see how their schedule looks. Okay, for Miami, they opened the season at home against Patriots, probably on national television on CBS. Week 2, they're going to Baltimore, 1 o'clock on CBS. Then they're versus Buffalo, week 3 on CBS. So it's not. I wouldn't say it's a brutal start. They definitely can beat New England. They will have a tough game against Baltimore. They're gonna have a tough game against Buffalo, even though they're home. Cincinnati, I think this will be a toss-up again. 8:15 Prime Video, week 4, Thursday Night Football. This game's gonna be a really good one. I definitely keep that on your calendar. Then week 5, a little bit of an easier game at the Jets, 1 o'clock on CBS. Still not a super easy game, but yeah. Week 6, you got the Vikings at home on Fox. Week 7, you got the Steelers at home, another home game on Sunday Night Football, so that'll be good. Then you're at Detroit, at Chicago, 1 o'clock on CBS, both games. So a little bit of an easier stretch. They should win those games. Then you're versus Cleveland at 1 o'clock on CBS. Should be a good game. See how it works. You got your bye weeks, week 11. Pretty much perfect bye week. Maybe a little late. But then you got the Houston, week 11, 1 o'clock on CBS. If they don't win that game, I don't know what game they will. Then they're at San Francisco, at Los Angeles, both at 4:05. First game's on Fox, second game's on CBS. 2 tough games. Kind of like the Cincinnati, if you think about it. Cincinnati had to play not the Raiders. They had to play the Chargers and the 49ers. That's the way it's flipped. They win those 2 games, really good. Like, they'll be set. Because then they have to play Buffalo week 15. Of course, I talked about it before. That could be one of the triple headers on NFL Network Special, or it could just be whatever. On Christmas Day, they're playing the Packers on Fox. I'd be surprised if they won that game, I'll be honest with you. Aaron Rodgers is really good in December, and they're going to be wanted. They're going to be pushing for a number 1 seed. It's going to be a tough game. Then you got New England on January 1st. Honestly, they probably would want to swap that like last year. You don't want to go to New England on January 1st. Tua's probably going to struggle in this game. Probably a really important game. And then, of course, playing the Jets. Week 18, they're home. That game's probably going to be important too, but we don't know what time it's at. All we know is they're playing the Jets in week 18 at home. So, overall, I don't like their first 4 weeks. This is going to be rough. I don't think they're going to start out 0-4. 1-3, maybe. Probably, honestly. I think they're going to win one of these road games, either at Cincinnati, which is probably more probable, than at Baltimore, because they've never really played. Or, you know what? Yeah, probably at Baltimore, if you ask me. Versus New England, I think they need to win that game. I'll be honest with you. They're going to start out 1-3 at the best, if they're at the worst. At that, You got Buffalo. I don't think they're beating Buffalo this year, I'll be honest. Then the next 4 weeks, you got Detroit, meh. Oh, we'll just say these 3 weeks. At New York, they have to win this game. They have to beat the Jets. They got to beat the Vikings. If they lose to Pittsburgh or the Minnesota, I'm not going to be super mad, but then we're going to win these. These next 3 games before the bye week, they need to win. I mean, versus Cleveland's going to be a tough game, but they are at home. They have a good defense. Probably going to match really well with that Cleveland team. So and keeping that in mind, they really do need to win that game. These 2 games, these games are kind of like gimmies in some ways. At Detroit, it's not going to be super easy, but Tua does play well in domes. And in Chicago's terrible. They need to win that. Then after the bye, their next 3 games. I already kind of talked about San Francisco and Los Angeles. They got Houston. That's a gimme again. They have to win that game. But at Buffalo, Week 15, they're probably going to get destroyed in this one. Even if it's a good game, I'm just saying. I think they will be able to actually probably keep it at a good game, just for the fact that I think the run game's going to be I don't think it's going to be as physical as you might think we want it to be, but still, they're going to want to keep that like that. Then for Green Bay, they're playing Green Bay Week 16. They are home. I just don't think this game will be a good game for them. I don't think it's out of the reach. I just don't think they have the oomph yet in the quarterback play to match up with Aaron Rodgers. Then Week 17 at New England. I don't think this game's just not good. I'd be really surprised if they win this. Then they're versus the Jets. They're gonna have to win that game. Then you got unless they're somehow already clinched his playoff spot or something. And then your preseason, they're at Tampa Bay, local listing 7:30 on Saturday. You got all games are on Saturday. They're on the 20th in August. They're playing Las Vegas on 7 o'clock, and they're playing Philadelphia at 7 o'clock on the 27th. That's your Dolphins schedule. I think it's a pretty good one. I don't think it's super tough. I just don't think it's easy by any means either. Their first 4 games are definitely not gimmies. Let's get to the next team. Jets don't have a super easy schedule. 494 win percentage, 16th, basically in the average. So yeah, let's get to the next. Okay, for the Jets, Week 1, they're opening their season at home versus Baltimore. Should be a good game. I don't think they're going to win it, though. At Cleveland, they could definitely win that game if Deshaun Watson isn't starting. If he is, tough game on CBS again at 1 o'clock. So basically, their first 5 games are at 1 o'clock on CBS, basically. Versus Cincinnati, that's a game I still think they can win. I don't think it'll probably be a good game, but who the heck knows. At Pittsburgh, that'll be a tough one. I do think they can win it, but still. Versus Miami, I don't think they have the speed. Maybe Sauce can keep up with Tyreek, but I don't know if they have the defense to play with them. Then you got at Green Bay, at Denver. These games are going to be rough. 1 o'clock on Fox. This game, it is earlier in the season, but it's probably going to be like a 24-10 or 31-17 game. It's not going to be very close, but it's not going to be terrible either. At Denver on CBS at 4:05. This game's going to be rough, honestly. They don't have I don't think they have the defense to keep up with those weapons. Also, I don't think their offense is going to have any answers for the Denver pass rush. Kind of how it's going to be for a little while. I still think this game could be a little closer than this. But you saw last year, they got shut out. They're a much better team than they were Week 3 last year. But Denver's also a lot better. So that game could be ugly. Versus New England versus Buffalo, they win one of these games. I think they're set up for a decent second half. But both games at 1 o'clock on CBS. They're probably gonna have to win one of them if they even want a chance to make in the playoffs. Because they're probably not gonna beat Baltimore. They might beat Cleveland. They might beat Cincinnati. They might beat Pittsburgh. They might beat the Dolphins. They won't beat Green Bay. They won't beat Denver. They could beat New England. Probably won't beat Buffalo. Then after the bye week, they're at 1 o'clock on CBS at New England. I'd be shocked if they win this game. I'll be honest with you. But then they're versus Chicago. That game's definitely a game they need to win. 1 o'clock on Fox. At Minnesota, at Buffalo. 2 games they definitely can win. Not my bad. They can win at Minnesota. I don't know if they're going to win in Buffalo. That's what I'm saying there. Week 15, they're versus Detroit. Another game on Fox. They probably should win. Versus Jaguars, 8:15 on Prime Video. Second to last Thursday night football game of the year. I'd be shocked if that game they probably definitely should win. Then you got at Seattle, 4:05 on Fox. Another game they should win. And then you got Miami to close out the season. Overall, I think this is a schedule they can definitely win 6-7 games in. I think their ceiling's 8 at the best case. Worst case, they implode and win 4 games, but I don't think they're going to win 4 games. I think they're 5 or 6 games. Their schedule isn't really that hard. I just don't think it's easy by any means. They definitely have hard games in there. At Green Bay, there's no shot they're winning. At Denver, probably even more of a possibility, just the fact they don't play Denver well. Then you look at their preseason. They're Friday at Philadelphia, 7:30 on local listings. Then you got Atlanta, 8 o'clock on Monday. That's probably your Monday Night Football game for Week 2 preseason. Then you got the Giants, 1 o'clock Sunday to probably close out the preseason. That's your Jets schedule review. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. It's like a meh schedule. I think the Dolphins schedule is the best out of this division so far. We'll get to the Patriots last. They don't rank the divisions. So you look at the Patriots schedule, they're basically smack dab in the middle, 2.4989 win percentage, basically 500. Their schedule is definitely good for them. Let's get right to the schedule. For the Patriots, they have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 primetime games. I think the Bills have 5 as well. The Dolphins... Yeah, the Dolphins have 2. I think it's that Sunday Night Football game, and I think they have a Thursday night game. I know for the fact the Jets only have 1. But either way, yeah, starting off, they're at Miami. We already talked about this game. It's a game that it's going to be a tough game. I think they can win it, though. Then another game on CBS at 1 o'clock. This game's going to be a good one. I think they're playing the Steelers. Kenny Pickett might start. I think he will struggle, but honestly, this is a game they probably should win. But I'm just thinking it might be close. But and then you have the Ravens in Week 3 on Fox. This game's a really high anticipated matchup. Bill Belichick, he's had 1 really good game against Lamar and he's had 1 terrible game against Lamar. See if there's a median. Medium, my bad. Then you got Week 4. This game's a national game on CBS. NFL on CBS doubleheader game 2. You're at Green Bay. Tough game. They could win it, but still. You're versus Detroit Week 5. That's another game. They got to win that. At Cleveland, 1 o'clock on CBS. This is a potential for them to blow it out, and then that's also for them to get blown out. This is a game, a very big swing game. I don't think either team is going to be a close game, just for the fact that if just one side of the ball and either team doesn't play well, the other team's just going to blow them out. It's how it works with these teams when they play. Then you got Chicago, 8:15 on ESPN, Monday Night Football. That's just a crappy game. Honestly, I just wouldn't watch it. They're going to win it bad. That's basically it. You got New York Week 8 on CBS, another game they should win. You got Indianapolis, 1 o'clock on CBS, tough game. I think that's going to be a really good one, though. Week 10, bye week, really almost perfect bye week. Yeah, it's probably perfect. You got Week 11 versus the Jets. Whatever. We're going to win it. At Minnesota on Thanksgiving night. Should be a good game. This is pretty solid. It's kind of boring, but whatever. Thursday Night Football, Prime Video. I don't know why they have the Bills and Patriots made back-to-back Thursday. It's kind of funky. That game's going to be a really good one. I think that's a game they definitely could win. They're not going to win in Buffalo. That's just the truth. Unless the Bills lock up the number 1 seed or something. Then you got then the next week they have Arizona in Arizona on Monday Night Football. That's kind of a joke because Kyler Murray, no offense, he was bad against the Patriots when he played them last. He was bad. I really do think they definitely can win 2 out of these 3 games. I don't think they're going to win all 3. I definitely think that they could win all 3, but people think this is probably their hardest stretch when you look at it. I don't know. Yeah, this is definitely their hardest stretch. They don't have any ridiculous stretches, really. You got at Minnesota, at Arizona versus Buffalo. None of these games are easy. The Arizona game, I definitely think they can definitely win. Minnesota, should be a good game. Versus Buffalo, that's going to be a really good game, too. Then you got Sunday Night Football at Las Vegas. That game's going to be awesome. That's basically all I'm saying. It's going to be a really good game. You got Cincinnati on CBS, Week 16. They're going to have to play a really good game to win that. The Bengals are going to probably have to, too. Then you got the Dolphins versus Dolphins. That's the game they definitely should win. Pound the rock, pressure Tua. That's how they'll win the game. It's cold. They're definitely ready for it. They won't be. You got at Buffalo to end the season. I don't know why they have the Bills and Patriots, unless one of them stinks. They should not be playing in Week 18. There's my preference on it. You got the Giants at 7 o'clock for their first game of the preseason Thursday night on a Thursday night. Then you got two Friday games, 7 o'clock versus Carolina, then at Las Vegas, 8:15. I like their schedule. I honestly do think the opponents, yes, they are harder than the Dolphins, but I do think the Patriots are a better team than the Dolphins. So, there you go. Now let's get to the schedule rankings. Okay, Patriots schedule, I have them as that's the best schedule. Like, that's the most favorable schedule out of all the AFC East teams. Here's why. They have a really balanced schedule. There's no stretches that I'm like, they're going to have a tough time in that stretch. I don't think they're going to be able to win, like, all those games. They're gonna have, there's a guarantee they're gonna at least lose one or two of the games. Dolphins, I don't think they have as much balanced schedule as the opponents seem more favorable for them. Like there's some of their home games I'm like, thank gosh we're playing home because if they were on the road, like week 16, if they had to go to Green Bay, no shot at winning it. Stuff like that. They're like they have more like where they're playing and when they're playing really does help them. Through the Jets have an easier schedule. They have no balance, so like they're playing some really hard stretches, then they're playing some crap stretches. So like it's just a really wild schedule. It's hard for teams to win like that. Bills, it's just like the opponents they're playing. Like I said, they have the 12th hardest, which makes sense. They have the hardest schedule, and that's why they're 4th. It's like I don't think the stretches are anything crazy. Well, they are pretty crazy, but I don't think they have the favorable schedule like some other teams do, like the Patriots do, because they have a pretty balanced schedule. The Bills, there's some stretches like, man, to start the season, like their first 6 games, I'd be shocked if they started won all those games. I'm like, they're winning the whole thing. If they won 5 of those games, I'm like, they're winning the whole thing. If they won 4 of those games, I'm like, good stretch. But it's hard for those games for the Bills. The Bills don't have any breaks, really. They have a couple games where it's not the hardest. But you look at the Rams schedule. The Rams schedule was hard last year. It was not easy, but they had some breaks. That's how they won the Super Bowl. For the Bills, they don't have many breaks. They might have like a 2-week stretch where they're playing some bad teams, but they don't have any like 3-4 game stretches where they're like in a bye week where they're like, yay, we get some easy games. You can pick up some wins. They don't have that, which is hard. I don't think they have the hardest schedule in the NFL. They certainly don't have the easiest. I think this is a favorable schedules for this AFC East. I think it's a good division. It's probably the second best in the AFC, or third. But like the Jets, they're not a good team. The Dolphins, they're very underrated. And then the Patriots are going to be decent. They got the Bills, who are probably the best team in the NFL right now. So yeah, there's some good teams, there's some bad teams, but I really do like the AFC East schedule. Let's get to we're doing AFC after this, AFC North. Hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, see you in the next one.